Good evening, my friends, and Merry Christmas, or Happy Hanukkah, or Merry Kwanzaa, or Festivus, or whatever your particular holiday special is. Mine is the new Doctor Who episode on December 25th. It's me, Ginger, from Exclusive ARC, and I have been terrible at keeping in touch with you guys. If any of you have worked with me over the last month or so, you'll know that everything at Exclusive ARC is ticking along, and hopefully you've had good results. But normally I like to do a monthly video and catch up with authors and things like that, and I have not been doing that because things have been a little crazy. But anyway, I thought I'd pour myself a nice glass of whiskey and sit down and have a quick catch up. So, what are we going to catch up about? Well, it's nearly the end of the year, and it's crazy. I've had a fantastic year. I've really enjoyed working with all of you, and hopefully you've enjoyed working with me as well. Exclusive ARC is one of the coolest things in my life. It gives me such a lot of pleasure to work with authors and hopefully give them some real value. And for me, I get to, work with subscribers who love getting free books. I get to work with authors who love getting reviews for their books. It's just a fantastic experience. I think in life it's so easy to do all sorts of things that don't provide value for people, and I'm doing something that I really think makes people happy, and that makes me happy. Anyway, nearly at the end of the year. So, where is Exclusive ARC heading? I want to continue moving forward, growing Exclusive ARC, and that made me think, how am I going to do that? Well, obviously the first thing that you do when you're trying to grow a subscriber-based business is get more subscribers, and of those subscribers I already have, make more of them, post reviews, because getting the percentage of people who download a book and the percentage of people who leave a review as tight as you can is a really important step. But beyond that, what can I do to grow the business? Well, there is a self-help guru who I follow called James Arthur Ray, a bit of a controversial figure, but he said something that really resonated with me. He said, when you want to grow your business, you don't ask for more money, you provide more value. So I was thinking very seriously about how I run Exclusive ARC and where I can make things better. Because I like to think, if you have worked with me over the course of the last year or so, you've had a good experience and you're happy with the results you got. But I know that there are things that I can do better. And so there are 5 things that I have identified that I'm going to really work on to make Exclusive ARC even better in the coming year. The first one is, if you've ever worked with me in the past, normally what happens is we agree on a date your ARC is going to go out, and then you send me your Mobi files and your EPUB files and your cover and your blurb. I will send an invitation to review your book out to subscribers, and I will normally send you a confirmation and say, hey, sent your book out to all the subscribers, and then I normally say, I'll let you know in a day or so how many people express an interest in reviewing that book. And I'm going to be brutally honest with myself, I'm not always perfect at following up with that. And sometimes I get emails from authors being like, hey, you said you were going to let me know how many people were interested in reviewing my book and you never did. So, right, the first thing I'm going to do moving forward as a commitment is 48 hours after the invitation to review your book goes out to my subscribers, I'm going to let you know how many expressed an interest in reviewing it. And that will give you a gauge of how many reviews you could expect to get in. It's a difficult thing. If 100 people download your book, unfortunately only between 20 and 25 will ultimately review a book, but I'm working on tightening those margins. But the nice thing is you get an impression of how many people will actually review your book. So that's first commitment. The second commitment is, I was very aware that I didn't want to bombard the subscribers with emails all the time, and every time I sent an email out, normally I get 1 or 2 people unsubscribing, because it's you get so many emails every single day, I'm sure. But I've been working really hard on developing some systems for segmenting audiences and making sure people don't get hit with the same email twice. Freebie Friday, actually, I don't know if you know, every Friday I send out an email to my subscribers with a whole slew of books that are available for free download. And I actually send out that same email on Saturday and Sunday. The difference is I've learned to pull all the people who actually opened and clicked on that email on the Friday out of the list, so the people on Saturday don't get the same email twice. and the same on Sunday. If the people didn't click on any of the books there, they'll get that email. If they did click on it on Friday or Saturday, they won't get it then. So this means I'm avoiding spamming people. I'm avoiding people, giving people the same email again and again and again. And it's really interesting because I noticed that, on Friday when I sent out that email initially, I will get the most people responding. But on Saturday when I sent out the email with all those Friday people pulled out, I will get, about half as many again responding. And you realize that when you send out emails that you carefully segment the audiences to, you do reach more people and get more reaction. So my second thing that I'm going to promise is, once we send that initial invitation to review your book out, halfway between sending that out and when your book actually goes live on Amazon, I will send out a second email with a segmented audience. That means we're not hitting the same people twice. And I think that is going to make a huge difference to the number of people who download your books, and obviously that's going to make a huge difference to the number of people who ultimately review your book. That's my second pledge. On that same vein, when your book goes live on Amazon, hopefully the first thing you'll do is send me an email and say, "Hey Ginger, my book's live on Amazon, here's the ASIN." And I will send that out to the people who said that they were interested in downloading and reviewing a book. I normally send out that one email, and then I'll send out kind of a roundup at the end of the month. But what I'm going to do now, using that same method of sort of segmenting the audience, so I'm not bombarding the same people with more than one email, is I'm going to start doing follow-up emails and really start following up with people who've downloaded the book but not written a review yet. And again, I think that is really going to make a big difference to the number of reviews your books ultimately get. It's like squeezing a towel and squeezing the last drops out of it. I think really working the audience that we already have as hard as we can is going to make a big difference. So that's the third thing that I promised to do. The fourth thing that I'm going to do, I'm really quite excited about. So one of the things I identified very early on in the program is it's tricky to know how many people left a review from the number of people who downloaded a book. And I have two solutions for that. One is that normally when people do the FCC regulated thing where they say, "I received an advanced reading copy of this book," I just ask them to throw in the word exclusive. And if you're not happy with that as an author, you can let me know. But I like that because then as an author, you can see who's left a review. You can differentiate between organic reviews, reviews that might have come from your own ARC readers if you're an established author, and you can see which people came from my list. The other thing that I do is when I send out the request to post a review for your book when the book goes live, I'll also include a link to a Google form where I say, once you post your review, fill in this form and just post a link to your review and any comments you have for the author. And I generally just do that for my own record, so I can really keep track of how many people who downloaded the book are actually posting a review. But what I promise to do now is, after exactly 4 weeks from your book going live, I will send you all of the comments that people leave. And I think you'll find that really interesting, and I think that you'll find that really valuable, and that's some additional value that I can provide, and that's great. So most times the comments are just like, "Great book, love the book," but sometimes you get some really interesting comments that might make a good positive change to what you're doing in terms of writing and publishing. So that's the fourth thing that I promise. And finally, the fifth thing. As I said, I'm really hoping to grow exclusive ARC over the course of next year, and the commitment I'm going to make to you is for every percentage that exclusive ARC's revenue grows, I'm going to grow my investment in attracting new subscribers by the same amount. So the way I attract subscribers, there are various different methods. I'll do Facebook ads, I'll do Google ads, I will reach out to subscribers in Facebook groups, I'll reach out to people I know in writing circles and bloggers and things like that, to try and get as many people to sign up as possible. And I just want to make sure that as the program grows, the subscriber base that I've got grows too. I never wanted to get too big, so I'm very aware that exclusive ARC kind of inhabits this unique niche. There are the really big ARC programs like Hidden Gems that do a fantastic job, but their sort of entry point is a little higher than some very fledgling authors are comfortable with. So I think for me, exactly where I'm at with kind of 10,000 subscribers, and the $50 price point, I'm kind of comfortable with, and hopefully you guys are comfortable as well. So I don't want to grow too big, but I want to constantly be growing the program to make up for people who drop out. I want to be constantly churning through the subscribers we have, so if people download books on a regular basis and don't review them, we slide those guys out and replace them with people who will leave reviews. And basically, I just want to make sure that out of the around 10,000 subscribers we have, that we're getting as much value out of them as possible for authors. So that's the fifth thing that I am going to pledge to do in 2018. So there we go. Hopefully, if you are an author who's worked with me before, or if you're an author who hasn't worked with me before, that sounds good and it sounds exciting. I'm really excited for the year ahead. I'm really excited to share your books with my readers, and hopefully get some great reviews for you, and hopefully really help supercharge your self-publishing career moving forward. Anyway, just know that I am open for business. Send me an email at editor@exclusivearc.com if you have a book coming up that you want published and want reviews for. As you probably know, for regular heterosexual romance or erotica or women's fiction, I charge $50. Can normally get you at least between 20 and 30 reviews, sometimes more. And if you write gay romance, then I charge $30 because I've got a slightly smaller list. There are some Midwest mums who don't like reading that. That's fine. Normally I can get you at least between 10 and 20 reviews. I charge $30 for that. I really try and make sure that I work with you and I'm as transparent as possible, provide as much value as I can for you. So just shoot me an email at editor@exclusivearc and we'll talk about trying to get some reviews for your books. In the meantime, I will make sure to actually keep up with posting videos and stuff like that. Also, don't forget, every single Friday I run something called Freebie Friday, which is where if you are running a book on a KDP free promo, as in you're using your free days as part of Amazon's KDP program, send me the ASIN. I post links to forms on Reddit groups where you can actually do it, and I will promote your book for you to our subscribers. And normally that's worth anywhere between 100 and up to 250 clicks and downloads. So that can really make a difference when you're running those free days. There's no charge for that. I'm happy to do it. I'm excited to do it. So make sure you take advantage of that. And I got some new ideas coming up for other things I can do to provide value to you as authors. But until then, cheers. I hope you have a wonderful holiday season, and 2018, let's knock it out of the park. This whole writing business is an incredible opportunity. If you have discipline and focus and tenacity, you really can make a successful career out of being an author. And I'm just here to help you every step of the way as much as I can. Anyway, great to chat to you. Shoot me an email if you have any questions or just want to chat, and I will speak to you soon. Cheers.